Well, hey, good looking. You want to see what we have cooking today in my kitchen? Well, grab a hold of that vine and swing on in my kitchen and let's get cooking. Good looking. Today, with the big old cold and flu epidemic that is going nationwide and it's becoming at its peak in almost every state, I thought it would be very appropriate to show you how I make the elderberry syrup. And it's also a great way to boost your immune system during this cold and flu season. So, grab a hold of that vine and swing out of my kitchen and let's get cooking. Good looking. Well, hey there, good looking. I have here, I'm not going to sit there and show you how to do it with the dehydrated elderberries because I live in Amish country and it is very abundant in my area here where I have so many elderberries that I'm fortunate enough that I can sit there and put up elderberry juice that I don't have to sit there and dehydrate the elderberries. So I get to cheat and I get to pull off some elderberry juice right off of my shelves. I have a half gallon here, so I'm gonna sit there and pour 2 to 3 cups of the elderberry juice. Here is my 3 cups of the elderberry juice. Now I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna peel this little 2-inch piece of ginger and we're gonna add that as well. Oops, I'm sorry if I bumped the camera. Here it is, all peeled. Go ahead, plop that down on in. Now we're gonna sit there and grab some ground cinnamon and we're gonna use 1 teaspoon. Add that cinnamon. Also, I want you to add 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Add the lemon juice. I have my whisk, and now I'm just going to sit there and try to whisk in all the cinnamon. We're going to simmer this for 40 minutes. Now that it's simmered for the 40 minutes, and I'll be bringing it back over, but first, before I bring it over, I'm going to have to sit there and measure out 3 cups of honey. Here is the elderberry juice. So I just grabbed my knife that I used to get all the skin off of it. So I'm just going to dispose of this. Now, don't go adding the honey yet until your elderberry juice has come back down somewhat to room temperature, but not yet at room temperature. You want it warm enough so we can sit there and have the honey all meld into the juice. Our elderberry juice has cooled, so let's go ahead and add the honey. Now, let's go ahead and mix that all up. And I'll see you when I have it all incorporated with each other. Alright, after it's all incorporated with one another, go ahead and ladle it into your canning jar. Now there you go. That's how easy it was to make elderberry syrup. Now let's talk about how we would sit there and go about using this. Now for adults, you would sit there and take 1 tablespoon of this elderberry syrup a day, or if you feel the cold and flu coming on, you would sit there and take the 1 tablespoon 3 times a day. And now for the little kiddos, you would be giving them 2 teaspoons per day, or if the cold and flu is coming on for them, you would give them 2 tablespoons. Now, what if the flu has stricken you? Well, that's easy. You would just sit there and take the 1 tablespoon, and you would just sit there and take it every 2 hours. Now, let's talk about other ways that we could sit there and use this little magical powerhouse there. And you could sit there and put some of it inside of your homemade yogurt. That's pretty good. Or how about making an elderberry soda? That's another good way. You could pour this over pancakes or waffles or French toast or even ice cream. Or you could use it as a sweetener in bake. Now, what would you do with the elderberry syrup? Let me know. Well, for the next few videos, I'm going to sit there and show you how I'm going to use this elderberry syrup. So be sure to follow. Now, if you like what you saw here today, please go down, give me a big old thumbs up. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. And if you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead, go up and hit the subscribe button, tap that little bell. That way you'll always be notified every time I do put out a new video. And most of all, thank you for taking the time to watch my video. And y'all come back